Welcome, everybody. My name is Marty DeGarmo. I've been online since 2004. We're going to share a business with you that I guarantee you've never heard anything like it. I don't promise. I guarantee you haven't. Like I said, I've been in since 2004. Lost a lot of money. I wound up on disability, so I thought I'd get online and try to make some extra money like millions and millions of other people. And what had happened was jump in, promised a lot of stuff. If you only do this or if you only do that, you'll make this. It didn't work out that way many times, probably for 10 years. Did learn some skills, met up with Mike Ellis and then Dan Street. And we wound up on the other end of that spectrum where we could market. Great feeling until you realize that you can't bring anybody with you. And that's just as bad. So you build these big teams and you can put a hand down and say, here, do what I did. But most people have what? 2 jobs. They're a single parent. They're taking care of their parents. They have a life. They can't learn what I've done in Mike and Dan have done in 10, 12 years in one day. And I cannot duplicate it as much as I thought I could. It just could not. I tried. So now here we are bringing in 300 or 400 people and 50 quid here, 60 quid here, 70 quid here. So you have to get into that. Can you bring them in faster than they quit? Then you have to analyze, what am I doing? I feel like a hamster running around on that wheel and I'm not getting anywhere, right? And the point is, a lot of gurus and so-called gurus tell you, well, you don't have your mind right, you don't have a big enough why, and that's a bunch of horse crap, okay? It just is. I mean, yeah, obviously, you need to have a reason why. Well, the reason why is people want to make a lot of money because most of the time they're struggling or they want to buy back some time. So I hated hearing that. Then when I got on the other end, I realized it's a bunch of crap because they can't make money because you can't duplicate what you're doing. So it was horrible, absolutely horrible. About 18 months ago, I started looking for a business that gave a fair pitch to everybody. No screwballs, no fastballs, just an easy pitch to everybody in that business. And honestly, I thought while I was looking that business probably didn't exist because, you know, you're looking for things that I've never seen before. Well, thank God I met Peter and Red here, actually. They were doing something. So I looked at it and, what are you doing? And they explained it to me. I jumped in in here, I jumped in right 10 minutes. I said, we got to, this is great. Now I learned as we went. Now usually when you learn as you go, you find out, well, it's not quite as good as you thought. No, not in this case. It was getting better and better every time I heard it. So I went back, talked to Mike and Dan. They saw it and said they were going through the same thing. Wait, it can't be that good. Needless to say, 18 months later, we found a home. We're not going anywhere else. Yes, we built a really big team, but we're building a team with people and we can look them in the eye and say, yes, you too can make money and be successful. It's a great feeling. Anyway, Mike Ellis, my business partner here, is the expert on explaining this business. And when he's done, you're going to know, I got to have it, even if you're not sure what it is you're trying to get. But you'll learn as you go, and there'll be no pressure. Get all the information. If it's too much for you today, get back to the person who invited you, ask them more questions. Nobody's going to force you to do anything. I believe this. I've always believed this. If you got to force it on somebody, it's not worth getting. Okay? You give the information. If they like it, they'll jump on it like a fat rat in a cheese factory. You'll have to beat them off with a stick. You don't have to drag them. So anyway, here's my friend and business partner, Mike Ellis. He's about to blow you up. So fasten your seatbelt and we'll talk afterwards. Mike, let her rip.
Yeah, no, thanks, Marty. Thanks for the introduction. And I've seen that there are a lot of new names here that I haven't seen before. And this presentation really is for you. And what we're going to try and do is show you how to take care of that bottom line. That's why we're all here. to make money, to get that residual income, walk away money. And I know it's a very, very high bar, but let's see if we can't get over that bar together. And as I talk about OnPassive, I'm going to be talking about some things that have never been done before. And that's what makes OnPassive so unique. It makes them revolutionary. And as I go through it, just keep in mind what it can do for you, because in the end, that's all that matters. What can it do for you? Can it take care of those financial burdens and put you in a position where you can breathe? And I know there are a lot of people out there today that it's just hard. It's just really, really hard out there. I believe when we're done, you're going to find a way forward and be pretty excited about what's going to happen with your life. OnPassive is an AI IT company, artificial intelligence, informational technology company. They are a high-tech company, and they are a full-blown corporation. And as I came in and started to learn about OnPassive, I had a young lady, a friend, that had invited me to a webinar, and she's a good friend. I said, sure. I wasn't looking for anything, but I said, sure, I'll go over and take a look at it. And I watched a webinar done by Ash Mufareh. Ash Mufareh is the CEO of OnPassive. He is the brain trust. He is the visionary behind OnPassive. And as I listened to him, it was just really, really difficult for me, because Ash he is a mad scientist. He's absolutely brilliant, but he's a mad scientist. And it was hard for me to listen to Ash. But there was something there that kept me coming back. And I came back, listened a little bit more. I came back, listened to a little bit more. About the third time I listened to Ash, I understood the absolute genius behind what he was doing. And like Marty said, Dan, Marty, and I, we've been online for a dozen years. Not much I haven't seen, but this was totally new. And as I looked at it, I knew that Ash had done something extremely special. And the reason I say that, it was a way for Dan, Marty, and I to actually bring people in and share what we were doing and know that they would make money. And we had never found that before. It was really, really difficult to bring people in and guarantee their success. And with Ash Mufareh, with OnPassive, we could do that. And I keep it very, very simple. This does not have to be complicated. There were 4 things that I saw as I continued to listen to Ash and his team. And I'm going to share those with you. And if you understand these 4 things, how they mesh together and how they change business forever for those individuals coming online and trying to make money online, it just changes everything. The first thing I saw as I listened was, as you come in and start a business with OnPassive, it is self-funding. And all that means is, as you come in, you will pay once, you will never have to go out of pocket again. Now, for me, that was really intriguing, because I have been in many businesses throughout the years, and these businesses, they just try and suck you dry. Maybe you've had that same experience. You come in and you pay month after month after month, and you don't make any money, and they're going to take every dime you have if you let them. That is not OnPassive. OnPassive, you will come in, you will pay once, you will never go out of pocket again. Absolutely love that. The second thing that I saw, it took a little while to convince me it was true. It was so different than anything I had ever seen. I just didn't think it could be true. And the second thing was, as you come in, OnPassive is going to force you to be successful. They are going to force you to make money. Now, does that mean they're going to make you go out, pick up a shovel and an axe and dig a trench? No, that's not what it means. OnPassive is so unique in the way they've been put together. It's 100% automated. We actually outsource our work to OnPassive. They do the work for us, and you're going to see how that works in just a little bit. They do the work for us, and then they force us to make money. In other words, they're going to make money for us and give it to us. I didn't really believe it initially, but as I studied OnPassive, as I studied the numbers of OnPassive, I understood that because of the genius of how OnPassive has been put together, how the pay structure has been put together. Yeah, they can say that. you will be forced to make money. We're going to outsource it to OnPassive, and OnPassive is going to let the money flow. And that's another thing that's really ingenious on the part of OnPassive and Ash Mufareh. Ash Mufareh, as he started OnPassive, his whole goal was not to take all the money for himself, but to share the wealth. And as we look at OnPassive moving forward, there's a lot of wealth to be shared. So as you come into OnPassive, you will be forced to be successful. You will be forced to make money. Now, the third thing that Ash talked about for me was really, really important because, again, I've been online for 12 years. And OnPassive is going to help us grow our business. How are they going to do that? They are going to start driving traffic for all of us. And this is something I've been doing for years. It's a really, really hard thing to do. It's even harder to do it successfully. And if you can find a company that will drive traffic for you and build your business for you, you need to grab hold of it. You need to grab hold of it, because I can tell you, with the years of experience that I have, Marty has, Dan has, it's probably the hardest thing you'll ever do, whether you're online, offline, if you're in business, getting good qualified eyes that come in, love what you're doing, join and pay. This is what OnPassive is going to be doing for us. And I want to start to talk about volume just a little bit, because in order for OnPassive to do everything they're going to be doing for the individuals that come in and participate with OnPassive, there has to be tremendous volume. And what OnPassive did about 4 or 5 months ago, they decided to test their traffic sources. And what they did is they came in and they cranked up the traffic sources, and they had one goal in mind: to bring in 1 million opt-ins. They did not put a time frame on it. Could be a month, could be 3, could be 6, could be a year. They did not put a time frame on it. And they just cranked it up. And OnPassive in 4 days brought in 1 million opt-ins. When you start to think about that kind of volume and what it will do for us as those individuals participating with OnPassive, I can tell you flat out, I've never seen anybody do this before. Never seen it done online. I know it hasn't been done offline. The technology just isn't there to get 1 million people in the door at one time. OnPassive did this in 4 days. There's another caveat here. OnPassive, AI IT company, artificial intelligence, they did not use the artificial intelligence they have today to drive the traffic they drove when they were testing the traffic sources. When you add the AI intelligence with traffic, all of a sudden, the time frames are cut. And instead of 4 days getting 1 million opt-ins, they do it in 2 or 1 or 12 hours, okay? This is all about volume. Now calculate that out over the course of a year. And the sheer volume of OnPassive, as we look at OnPassive and what it's going to do for us, because that's the bottom line. What's it going to do for us? When you look at that kind of volume, and this is a done deal. OnPassive is an expert at driving traffic. But when you look at that kind of volume, it's game over. Those 3 things alone are enough to go, I'm in. And believe me, when I saw them, I said I was in. But it gets better than that. With everything we're doing, there has to be a customer that comes into OnPassive. And as we look at OnPassive, Passive primarily is a customer-based business. Yes, there will be people coming in, participating with OnPassive, but it is primarily a customer-based business. And when we look at the customers of OnPassive, why are they coming into OnPassive? OnPassive, developed by Ash Mufareh, he has a tech team in India, Bangalore and Hyderabad. They're about, right now, I think they're about 600 or 700 strong. These technicians have made all the tools that OnPassive has made and bringing to market. All of these tools are proprietary, cutting edge. They are the best of the best. And when we look at the customer side of OnPassive, these products, as they come in and use them, not only are they better than anything online, the price point is lower. So the customer side of OnPassive, once they come in, they will love OnPassive. They will absolutely love the products of OnPassive. And I believe once they start using these products, they won't never leave. Now, some of these products, they started out initially with an automated marketing platform. That is a platform that marketers use and all the tools are there for them to market online, whether it's a page builder, whether it's a funnel builder, whether it's an autoresponder, whether it's a communication module, whether it is traffic. Yes, they're going to be able to come in and use the traffic sources of OnPassive. All of these tools are under one umbrella, automated marketing platform. They can come in, superior tools, use these tools. And why are they using them? They're using them because it makes their job easier and it makes their bottom line better. Whether it's K through 12, whether it's college, whether it's small, medium, large size business, whether it's government, they will all use these tools. And because of what Ash and his team have done, they will never leave. And that bodes very, very well for those individuals that are participating with OnPassive. And when we look at the ratio between those participating with OnPassive and customers, the customer side will dwarf the amount of people participating with OnPassive. That's very, very good for us. So as I continue, keep that volume in the back of your mind. It's really, really important for you and I, because that's how we make money. As we look at OnPassive, how do we all come in? Initially, we come in and there's a position. It is the founder position. It is a $97 position. We come in, lock our position in OnPassive, and lock our position in the pay structure of OnPassive. That is what the founding position does. That's what the $97 does. It locks you into OnPassive. And as we look at that, there's one other thing we can do. This is not necessary. If you look at the first four things I talked about, it is a totally automated system. But if you come in and you are a founder in OnPassive and you have the inclination to build a team, you can do that. It is not necessary. OnPassive will do that for us. But if you can do that, there are some tangible benefits to building a team, and I'll get into that in just a little bit. But it's not something you have to do. It is automated, automated, automated. With the AI technology and the IT products, everything is automated. But if you are a builder, this is the right place to be, because not only can you bring people in, but you can guarantee they will make money. I absolutely love that. Absolutely love it. It makes building a team very, very simple if you want to do that. So once you're a founder, as OnPassive launches to the world, and it is scheduled to launch this year, 2020, as it launches, the founders will come into OnPassive. We will all come into OnPassive as customers, i.e., it is primarily a customer-based business. We will come in, we will pick a membership level. There are 4 of them, and each membership level has a product package. So whatever membership level you pick, there is a product package. You get to use those products. Once that happens, you go in the back office, click a button, and you become an independent reseller of the IT product. That's really, really important, because once that happens, they can pay you. We all want to get paid. The membership levels, the 4 of them, that is a monthly fee, okay? But again, you will pay once, you will never go out of pocket again. This is where this comes into play. As OnPassive grows, the monthly fees that we have to pay will come from the volume of OnPassive and the profits that we make with OnPassive. Again, that's why volume is so important. And because of the amount of volume that's going to be coming in, you will pay once, you will never have to pay again. So that's how that works. How do we get paid? That's a really, really important part. Unfortunately, I cannot talk about the pay structure. It is proprietary. Ash Mufareh does not want us to put that out online until we launch to the world this year. That's okay. I can kind of give you an idea of how we're going to get paid. To start with, OnPassive will never take anything away from you, okay? And again, that's another thing I love about OnPassive. All this volume that OnPassive is going to be bringing in, when it lands underneath you, you get paid for that volume. How's that going to work? OnPassive, as they launch to the world, they're driving traffic. They're going to, again, the traffic tool comes from the automated marketing platform. So they're going to start driving traffic. Any traffic that lands underneath you, that volume you get paid from. And again, as we look at the volume, we're talking about millions and millions and millions of people. This is not going to be a one-time thing. It is not going to be 1 or 2 or 3 sales a month. And I know some people say that, and I go, no, 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 that's not how it works. The sheer volume of OnPassive is going to take us to a place that very few of us have been. And if you're worried about that bottom line, those financial burdens, OnPassive was built for you and I to take care of that. So as we look at OnPassive, driving traffic for us, bringing in volume, you know, if you're a salesperson and you're doing your sales on your own, yeah, you're going to get paid for that. But that's what OnPassive is all about. It's automated. You don't have to do those sales. They're going to be doing them for us. They're going to be landing underneath you. You're going to get paid for that volume. And as we look at those individuals that build a team, it's like having a large territory that you can't handle. You bring in a team to help you with that territory. And let's say you've done that. OnPassive, again, they're going to drive traffic for all of us. If you have a team, not something you have to do, but if you've done it and you have a team and those sales start landing underneath each one of your team members, you get paid for each one of those sales because they're on your team. It's the same it's the same as having a large territory with a sales force. So that's how that will work. And there are some really, really tangible benefits. And as you study OnPassive, you're going to understand how that works if you have that inclination. So when you look at OnPassive, think of those 4 things. Keep it very, very simple. Self-funding, forced to be successful, traffic, customers are king, and then think about the volume. This will change your life. I want to hit the volume one more time with one of the products of OnPassive. And again, it's going to give you an idea of the sheer magnitude of OnPassive. And that tool I want to talk about is inside the communication module. And there are many tools in there. But I'm going to pull one out, and that's the webinar service. It's a lot like what we're doing today with the Zoom. Zoom, this is a webinar service. Zoom is one of the big boys on the block. They have about 200 million people on Zoom a day. That's a lot of volume. That's a lot of people. I'm not sure how many people pay for Zoom, but there's a lot of them. Not only that, but there are 25 other webinar services on platforms that offer it to people today. Big, big, big market. As I talk about the OnPassive webinar service, and then I talk about the Zoom webinar service, you cannot compare the two. Zoom is a very, very old technology that's been put out there, and people do this all the time. They put old technology out online, and people come in, they call it new, people come in, use it, buy it, and they make millions. OnPassive, the webinar service, it is built from the ground up. It is proprietary. It is cutting edge technology. And when you compare the two, the OnPassive webinar and the Zoom webinar, there is no comparison. The OnPassive webinar is so far superior to any webinar service out there today. I believe in the course of a year's time, I'm not sure Zoom will even be in business. That's how good it is. Just with this one product, because of the millions of people that are going to be coming in to use the webinar service of the communication module. And there's so much more to that, it will blow your mind. But just with this one product, I believe OnPassive in the course of a year will be a unicorn company. And that's a company that has a value of $1 billion. That's one product. There are about 40 products in OnPassive, all of them as good as the webinar service. All of them will take market share away from those individuals online today. All of them will bring in millions and millions of customers to OnPassive. And when we think about a unicorn company, because there's not just one product, there are about 40 of them. I believe as OnPassive launches to the world, and again, it's scheduled this year, 2020, it will become a unicorn company the day it launches or shortly thereafter that. Now, the reason I tell you that is because, again, this is another thing that's never been done, offline, online. No business has ever launched to the world and been a unicorn company on day one. This has never been done before. And the reason I tell you this is to show you the position you're in today. As you come in, pay the $97, and you become a founding member. It is so unique to be able to take advantage of a company that as they launch will be a unicorn company. As I look at that, I get very, very excited about where I'm at, where the people are that we've shared this with, because as we look at OnPassive and what's going to be happening this year and next year, it's going to be unprecedented, and it will change financial futures. That's how big this is. I'm going to talk about two other things just very, very quickly, and I'll hand it back over to Marty, and he and Dan and the other people here can catch anything I missed. But I want to talk about Ash Mufareh and a meeting he had with his money men. And he had a meeting, and one of the bankers approached to Ash, and he said, "Mr. Mufareh, can I ask you a quick question that's kind of been on my mind, and I'd like to see your response." And Ash said, "Sure, go ahead and ask me the question." And he said, I know as OnPassive launches to the world, because we see what's happening, we see what you've done, that you will be one of the richest or the richest person in the world. And my question for you is, why would you share that wealth with anybody? And he's talking about us. He's talking about the founding members. And Ash looked at him a little perplexed, and he said, "Well, why wouldn't I share this with people? Why wouldn't I want to share the wealth? Why wouldn't I want to change lives? Why wouldn't I want to take care of that financial burden that people are working so hard to take care of? Why wouldn't I want to try and change the world?" And of course, the banker, he didn't have a response because he's a banker, and bankers don't give anything to anybody. But it showed me the heart of Ash Mufareh. It was really, really important for me. I know it's the same with Dan and Marty. It was just really important not only to see the heart of Ash Mufareh, but to see the heart of OnPassive. Ash Mufareh is going to share the wealth with us. He looks at us, the founding members, as partners with him. And his whole goal as he started to build OnPassive, that was one of them, to share the wealth and change people's lives. Last thing I want to share with you, it shows the ingenuity, the genius behind OnPassive and Ash Mufareh. And as we look at the customer side again, I believe 80% of the customers that come into OnPassive, they will come into OnPassive as customers. They don't care about OnPassive. All they want is a superior tool that will help them do their job better and help their bottom line improve. That's it. And again, it could be K through 12, it could be college, it could be small, medium, large, it could be governments. All of these individuals will come in and use the tools of OnPassive because they are cutting edge, they are the best of the best, and they will help them do their job much easier, so much easier. And if you're in it to make money, they will increase your bottom line, period. So these individuals, they don't care about OnPassive. They're going to come in, they're going to love the tools, they're going to pay the monthly fee, and they're done. Why is that so important? 80% of the companies, it is a monthly fee. What does that do for us? It makes our income a residual income for the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years. You want that. I can guarantee it, and that's part of the plan. We give individuals a better mousetrap. They use it, love it, and pay monthly, okay? Now, there is another group of people out there, about 20% that come in. Again, they're going to love the tools, they're going to use them, and they're going to pay the monthly fee, but they're a little different. They've got a tighter budget, and it's hard for them to pay those monthly fees. And I don't know if you've ever been in that position before where you've got more bills than you do income. I have. It's not a good place to be. And these individuals are always going to wonder, am I going to be able to pay for these tools next month? Here's what Ash and his team did. As these individuals come in and use these tools, over time, the cost of the tools will go down. They're going to love that. Over time, the cost of those tools will be zero. They're not going to know what to say. And over time, OnPassive is going to pay them to use those tools. They're just going to pass out. Nobody's ever done that for them in their life. And I believe what's going to happen with these individuals, number one, they're absolutely going to love OnPassive. And they're going to find out over time that they're making more money with OnPassive than they are with the company they're trying to market. They're going to boot the company they're trying to market, and they are going to use OnPassive. They are going to be in OnPassive 110%. They, again, will never leave. OnPassive is a place to take care of that financial bottom line. It is a place to find a way forward, to be in a position to live the lifestyle you want to live. I know I've thrown a lot of information out to you. Again, keep it simple, self-funding, forced to be successful, traffic and customer is royalty, and then think about the sheer volume that OnPassive is going to be doing. If you think about those 5 things, I believe you'll come to a place where you say, yeah, I got to do that. It's what I did when I first started listening to it. Marty, Dan, the people on this webinar, same thing, the founding members on this webinar. And as you continue to explore it, get your questions answered. But I can tell you, as you continue to look at OnPassive, it gets better and better and better. And it really is phenomenal what this company is doing today and the explosion it's going to have as it comes online this year, 2020. Marty, that's it for now. Go ahead and take it. And if I missed anything, yeah, fill in. Go ahead, Marty.
Thanks, Mike. As I said, he's going to explain something to you you've never heard of before. So there it is. A little bit different look into everything that he said. I'm going to touch a couple points and I'm going to turn it over to much smarter people than I. But Zoom, for example, okay, Zoom last year was worth $19 billion. That's nothing to laugh at. It's a huge company, much bigger than I thought it was. This year, with all the problems going on in the world, they were worth $129 billion. They picked up $110 billion in 1 year, okay? So just to show you one product that OnPassive, what kind of market share it could get from just that one thing. No limitations, as many people as you want on Zoom as you want. You pay a certain price, that's it. That's just one. The other thing I've had people say to me, well, what if I don't use all these products? It's a waste. No, it's not a waste. You are a founder. If you got paid from every item that walked through a store like Walmart, you got a small piece of the pie every time it went by the cash register. You don't have to use it to get paid. So you get paid every time it's used. Anybody that walks by, not one cash register, maybe 10, maybe 100, maybe 200 stores. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And by the way, Mike covered it, but there's no limits on how much you can make. If you get in a company that gives you limits, walk away. This company has no limits. You can make more and more and more and more. It's huge. And I think people need to just go in, because it's a lot to swallow at one time. Get the info from the person who invited you, or we have groups, we have places where you can go and find out what you need to find out. Feel comfortable about it. There should have been enough today to spark something where you go, I think I want some of that. And keep in mind, you know, the gold rush, guy found a little bit of gold and yelled it out, and thousands of people went to California. The reality is the people that made the most money were the ones that sold the equipment, okay? The one that sold the picks, the panning trays, and the washboard and all that stuff. They're the ones that made the money. OnPassive is going to be selling the products, and you can be part of it. And imagine everything that goes through, you get paid on it. And like Mike said, you're thinking, well, I can't bring in people. You don't need to. If you want to share this, send them to a Zoom like this and we'll do it for you. The other thing is, remember, the company is marketing for you. You're paying them to market for you. It's coming out of your profits. You're paying them to build your business. It's a beautiful, beautiful concept. And look, three people a minute are joining right now. 1 to 3 people every minute. It's unheard of. And you can be part of that. I'm going to introduce other people to get their perspective of why OnPassive and what it was that rocked their boat. I'd like to introduce William Norris. William, unmute yourself and tell us what's up.
Hey, Marty. Can you hear me?
No problem.
Can you hear me? Okay. Bill Norris, North Carolina. Happy to be here with y'all. I guess we're fired up. I joined OnPassive September 18th of 18. Not very long after it's introduced, and probably about 2,500, maybe 3,000 people in it. My sponsor is Dave Marshall, and we are in Ken Russo's team. I began following the action and listened to him carefully when he spoke to us, and I realized early on he's real. He's sincere, and he has a heart of gold to help people, man. The business plan, I mean, it's rock solid. There's no way it's going to fail. It's never been done. Like Mike said, it's just a win-win situation for everybody. I guess I'm a nobody when it comes to online world. I've been messing around online since 2009. Lost quite a bit of money, like you. But in the last part of 2016, early 17, I got into a deal where I did make substantial, earn substantial from Bitcoin, but all that mess is like here today and gone tomorrow. It's never something solid. So naturally, it flew by. But the more I look at OnPassive, the more I realize it's a different animal. I'm convinced it's truly one of a kind, standalone business, and I believe it'll continue to prove to be that disruptive category creator that we all have come to realize it to be. I'd like to quote a Facebook post of mine that it's been on my page for some time now, and it coincides really with Mike's statements about attrition and that sort of thing. But it says, what is that Ashby Farr and all the leaders in OnPassive is trying to tell folks about OnPassive? And remember this one point. If you don't hang on to anything else, hang on to this. The bottom line is, in time and in the near future, every business around the world that needs and uses advertisement will join and use OnPassive. Why? It's simple. Because every member of OnPassive becomes a customer first. In return, every customer becomes a paid employee of OnPassive. That's the deciding factor for me. That's what made up my mind when I began to hear these things. I knew attrition was out the window. It's not going to happen in OnPassive. It can't. And I don't think there's any other company that's going to be able to duplicate and replicate what OnPassive is. It's too big. I mean, the marketing concept of OnPassive is not it. That's not just it. There's all kind of different aspects and products and services that we're going to be exposed to and actually given when we get into these packages that Mike talked about. I mean, it's a whole world of products, usable products that most businesses, most people can use and benefit from. And to touch on that bottom line that Mike normally refers to in the videos, somebody has sent me, shared a post on my page about some quotes that Ash had made, and it was down from the time actually that we began until up to date. But it goes like this. He said, "It is inevitable that everybody will succeed, especially the founder. The early bird founder is just a no-brainer for them to secure that digital payment." Now, I mean, this is coming from Ashby Farr. This is what Ash said. If it weren't so, it would have been put out in print. I mean, people wouldn't be passing things around that somebody said it. They didn't say it. I didn't hear Ash say that, but I believe it, and I believe he said it. So in a nutshell, we can agree that OnPassive is different. Nothing else anywhere online or offline is going to compare. So guys and gals, if you're sitting on the fence, get off of it. Get in. You will not be disappointed. And I believe that's a promise I can keep. But thanks, Marty, for allowing me to be on with you. I appreciate being on with you fine folks. It's a pleasure. And happy to be here.
William, great job, buddy. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Now, we had a special guest here. I didn't realize she was here, so I asked her to come on. She's a leader. She's been in probably as long as any of us, if not longer. Has a huge team. Everyone knows who she is. I'd like to get her perspective, because if you don't get a woman's perspective, you're done, right? So Cindy Hopkins, how you doing? And let us have it.
Hey, how are you today, Marty and Mike and Red and Dan and William? It is so good to see you, and thank you, first of all, for a beautiful webinar. As always, you guys knock it out of the ballpark. You know, I got in this 2 years ago, well, over 2 years ago. I looked at it in July of 2018, and I mean, what a fantastic journey it's been all the way. I mean, to be involved with a company that, well, for one thing, you all know our CEO is absolutely a phenomenally giving, caring, loving man who really, truly looks out for all of us. And, you know, so that drew me, you know, his vision drew me, that he wanted to help the world. And he especially wanted to help the little guy, you know, like my children. You know, I always look at things and I think, okay, they have a hard time. They'd have a hard time selling the sunshine to their shadow, you know, let alone something else. So I thought, this is the perfect business for, you know, my kids and of course a lot of my friends and people that I've worked with so long online that, you know, had problems, or you know, they wanted to work online and they cared about people. And, you know, isn't that all we have to do? Every one of you guys do. And that's really all you need here, is just to care about other people, period. The system will do all the work for you. And so that makes it a really easy business to share and with other people, and to let them know that we care. Something that Mike, I feel, left out big time. I mean, I know we can't talk about the compensation plan, Mike. I'm looking at you there. But, you know, I have to say that, you know, we'll be getting paid every day, even several times a day. We can say that. Come on. I mean, this, and then the compensation plan, as you well know, you can say this, it's unlike anything they've ever seen. I mean, it's more than they can imagine. Do you agree or not? I mean, really, you guys are on the inside, you know that. So, you know, that's pretty amazing. I also, what really, really attracted me to this terrific business is that no upsells. Like if I want the smallest package, they're not going to wham me and they're not going to come at me that I have to buy a bigger package. I don't have to. And I'm not going to be chastised for it. I'm not going to lose a dime from anyone, you know, and my team, in my organization. I mean, that's, you know, and that's to be seen for all those newcomers. Just trust your sponsor is all I can say, folks. Trust the person who shared this beautiful, wonderful business with you. Each and every one of us are here to help you. We're not even on the same team, are we, guys? I mean, as far as team goes, by the old definition, but we are on the same team. Each and every one of us are in the OnPassive GoFounder family, and you will be too, folks, if you join us and have some fun, enjoy this journey, because your financial future truly is about to change, and you're going to love it. The only other one thing, I know I have a lot of one things, I'm terrible at you know, putting everything in a nutshell, but this is so important, guys, because we'll have every tool imaginable for anybody who wants an online presence, or even already has another business out there and wants to plug it into the system. You don't get charged more to do that. They'll even market that business for you. So you not only can do phenomenally well here, but plug in whatever else you're doing online, and you don't have to pay one penny more. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. And so the products are at unbeatable prices. I've never seen anything like it. So, you know, just know, again, you're in good hands, and you must have a sponsor or someone who's sharing this with you who definitely cares a lot about you. And so at least take a look at it. At least take a look at it. You owe yourself that much. We all owe ourselves to finally be involved in a company that, and a US based company as well, that is looking out for us from the get-go. And then the beautiful part too is it is a US based company, but it is global big time. So thank you, Marty. Thank you, Mike, Dan, William, Red, for allowing me to speak, because I love this company and I love you guys. I love what you do for our company as well. And it's my business, it's your business, and hopefully it's these founders, these newcomers' business. All right? Thank you.
Told you she was unbelievable. Cindy, thank you. Wow, so glad Cindy popped on. It adds a little bit, don't it? Red, you have anything, buddy? I'm sure you got some Q&A, and I want some of your input.
Thanks very much, Marty. Okay, I've got a few Q&As. Mohammed asked, actually two new questions, which is pretty cool. Mohammed asked, can a company or corporation register as a founder? Now, my understanding on this is yes, they can. I think there is a different process for it. They have to go via support to get the documents signed differently than a normal founder's position is. But my understanding is, yes, it can be done for a corporation or company. If this is something that is interesting to anybody that's here now, or that you need to know for the future, the answer is yes, it can. A corporation, company, or business can be registered as a founder, but you will have to go via support to get this done. So that was a good question. I hadn't heard that one before. The other one is, will OnPassive be using drop shipping like Amazon? Now, this is a new one to me, drop shipping. Never heard of drop shipping. What I've said to the person is, I'm not aware that this will be something that OnPassive will be using, but I will find out to the best of my knowledge to see if it is something they will be using. So hopefully on the next one, it'll be something that we can let you guys know. That's it for the Q&A I've had today. What else have I got? Oh yeah, somebody else has just asked about what happened to the 1 million opt-ins. Well, the 1 million opt-ins for the marketing campaign are there on the database of OnPassive, and obviously these people will be targeted when we launch to be potential customers or founders for the first marketing campaign that we will be doing very, very shortly. That's it for me on the Q&As, Marty, for the questions anyway.
All right, beautiful. Thanks, Red. And for, as far as dropship, that's for, remember, most of the products in OnPassive are digital, so you don't have to drop them anywhere. You're going to log in and you can use anything they have. There'll be very few things. So, yeah, dropship is just a phrase for shipping. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, well, we don't have that phrase in the UK. That's probably why I didn't know what it was at all. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Marty. Yes, these are going to be digital products, so it'll be online based. So that won't need to be done. Fantastic questions though today. Really good to hear new stuff. If there's any more, I'll come back to you in a second because I've got quite a lot to get through right now. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Red. Red's been in forever also. But yeah, keep in mind, a dropship is not necessary. They might have stuff down the road that you can purchase, like a hat or something, but yeah, most of it's all digital. So you're going to log into a very secure site, and anything you want or need online will be on one platform, secured. You can use it. Nobody's using your name, your email. It's a whole universe of OnPassive. Anything you could possibly want. Dan, do you have anything?
Yeah, I'll throw in a couple more things. I was just listening to everybody, and a couple of things that came to my mind were the fact that when Mike was talking about the sales position, the sales territory, I can identify with that. I'm in the medical business, and I have the the southern part of Colorado as my medical territory. My target market are orthopedic surgeons. Well, there's only a handful of them. There's probably about 100 of them in my territory and about 25, 30 of them that I do business with. So when you take that into consideration, I'm getting paid on those people every single month if they do business. Now, with OnPassive, when Mike was talking about the 1 million opt-ins over a 4-day period, can you imagine what's going to happen once we go public? Once we're advertising, once it goes viral, once word of mouth advertising kicks in? I mean, it's going to be mind-boggling. Nobody can even imagine that. So you got to think about the fact that we've got some real products here. We've got some unique products here. We've got proprietary products that have never been seen before that are built from scratch. And this is for all of you new people that are trying to find out what's unique about OnPassive. And the other thing is that when Cindy was talking about, hey, we are a global company. Okay, once we launch, this company is going to go viral instantly all across the world. Think about the volume that is created from that. And then finally, I just always have to go back to the character and honesty and integrity of Ashton Farah and all of the leaders in this business. It's unbelievable how many leaders are being created in this business as we speak. In the 18 months I've been in this business, I see people coming from learning just a little bit to seeing the progression of OnPassive grow and grow and grow over this last 18 months to getting to the point where it's real and it's going to launch is so exciting for all of us that we can't even stand it. But you have that opportunity as well to participate in this. So when you've got caring and honesty and integrity from the leadership, and you've got somebody that is so transparent that he comes on and he talks to us, and he's not hiding from anybody, and he's got one incredible business. Oh man, it's exciting stuff. So my suggestion to every single one of you out there that's considering this business, I got a quote from Learn It, and learn it from the people that are introducing it to you. And I have a end with a quote from Jim Rohn: "Learning is the beginning of wealth." And we've all been learning for the last 18 months, and the wealth is going to be there. So come join us.
Very good, Dan. Thanks. And keep in mind, in a few months, you're gonna go online, turn on your computer, and you're gonna see OnPassive. You could be part of it, or you could be a spectator. It just doesn't make sense not to jump on that horse now, because there's room. It's huge. It's worldwide, global, has everything you could imagine. It's just not a nickel and dime thing. It's a multi-billion-dollar company that hasn't launched yet, and they're going to launch as a unicorn company. Look it up in Google. It's a big deal, a big deal. And you can be part of it right now for $97. It's a no-brainer to me. And you should at least get the facts. If you get the facts and don't want it, then you probably never wanted to make money online anyway. But that's okay too. You know, whatever. Mike, you got anything else before I shut it down?
Yeah, let me add one more thing and just leave the new people with just a couple of things. When you think about OnPassive, think about our market. Our market today is 4.6 billion people. There will be something in OnPassive that each one of these individuals can use, okay? That's massive. There is a total business solution. There is a total personal solution. Haven't talked about hardly any of the tools today, but in OnPassive, whoever you are, whatever part of the world you're from, you will be in OnPassive, whether you know it or not. That's how big this is. So as you think about OnPassive, keep it simple. Think about the market, think about the volume, and from there, come on in. We're going to solve a lot of your problems financially, and then you can go about your life and never have to worry about that again. That's a really, really good place to be. Marty, go ahead and finish it out.
All right, thanks everybody. Thanks everybody that's here. Red, thanks for all that Q&A. That's not easy stuff. Cindy, thank you so much. Dan, Mike, William, thanks for speaking today. You did a fantastic job. We're all brothers from another mother and sister from another mother. But anyway, get back to the person that invited you. Like I said, get all the info. If you get it all, it's an easy decision. You won't have to be forced. Nobody will force you. Anyway, have a great day. God bless everybody, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye,
Great job.
everybody.